Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So we resume back on our reading. So far, we have read the chapter 3, which talks about triggers, which can guide you. So, am I audible?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
Maniselvi.
So it talks about learning to manage your emotions better instead of suppressing it, better coping mechanism, and understanding and listening to our instinct. So in this, the next point is how to follow your gut without getting scared of the future. Yeah. So who would like to read next?
Yeah, I would go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Just a moment. I'm just getting into another room. Yes. Good afternoon, all. How to follow your gut without getting scared of the future. One of the most essential tenets of modern wisdom is the idea that deep down you know the truth about everything in your life and, by extension, your future. The idea is that you are an oracle unto yourself, and your feelings are apertures into not only what's happening now, but what's going to happen soon. We are not to blame for believing this. There is a significant amount of research that proves that interconnectedness of our brains and bodies, explaining why when we have a gut feeling or an instinct that precedes logic, it is often correct. This is because the lining of our gastrointestinal system functions as a second brain. Given how to store a backlog of information that your conscious mind cannot recall faster than your body can sense. It is this incredible skill that makes your instinct almost always correct. Your gut, though intelligent, is not psychic. If you want to tune into yourself more, follow your heart, pursue your passion, find
I think she dropped off.
Okay, can I start?
Yeah, Pranavi, you had dropped off.
No, I didn't drop off. Someone else was has dropped out.
Okay, but okay, fine. Continue reading.
Okay. If you want to tune into yourself more, follow your heart, pursue your passion, find your soul, whatever it is, the first thing that you have to understand is that your gut instinct can only respond to what's happening in the present. If you have an instinct about a future event, you are projecting. This is how you can start breaking down your gut feelings. Are you responding to someone who is in front of you, or are you responding to your idea of them in your head? Are you reacting to a situation that's playing out right now, or are you reacting to one you imagine, assuming you know how it will go? Are your feelings regarding what's happening right now, or what you hope and fear will happen in the future? Aside from only really being able to function in the present, your gut instinct is also quiet. The little voice within is just that little. It does not scream, it does not panic, it does not pump your body with adrenaline to get your attention. It is not angry. It is the wave of clarity that overcomes you in the middle of your darkest moments, in which something tells you it's going to be all right. It's not as bad as you think. Everything is okay. Your gut instinct functions to make things better, whereas your imagination can often make things worse. But this is often confusing to people because which feelings are your instincts and what are your fears or doubts or limiting beliefs? How do we know the difference? Well, your instincts are not actually feelings, they are responses. If you find yourself particularly drained after spending time with someone or are feeling like you don't want to see them again, that's your instinct. If the work that you do exhausts you and every bit of it is forced and undesirable, that is your instinct. Instinct is not a feeling. You don't have an instinct that you are sad today. Instinct is quickly moving yourself out of harm's way without having to think about it. You have to remember that your feelings, while valid, are not often real. They are not always accurate reflections of reality. They are, however, always accurate reflections of your thoughts, of our thoughts. Our thoughts change our feelings. Our thoughts do not change our instincts. What you naturally gravitate towards or away from is your instinct. It's not something you feel or interpret, it's something you naturally do. When people talk about using their instinct to craft a life they love, this is what they mean, that they are obeying what their subtle intuition tells them they feel best doing. Sometimes your instinct can move you towards your art, even if it makes you uncomfortable and resistant. Sometimes your instinct can move you to keep working on a relationship even when it's hard. Your instincts doesn't exist to ensure you feel comfortable and ecstatic at all hours of the day. It moves you towards what you are meant to do because it shows you where your interests, skills, and desires intersect. Instinct and fear can feel similar. To trust your gut is not to treat it as an oracle. This is when the concept becomes so problematic. We are not only believing random feelings blindly, but also applying future meaning to them, assuming that everything we feel is actually warning us or showing us what's ahead. Let's unpack why and how this happens and how you can prevent it from ruining your life. Feelings do not inform you of the right decision to make. Right decisions create the right feelings. Your feelings are not intended to guide you throughout life. That is what your mind is for. If you were to honestly follow your every impulse, you would be completely stuck, complacent, and possibly dead, or at the very least in severe trouble. You're not because your brain is able to intervene and instruct you on how to make choices that reflect what you want to be expecting long term. You begin experiencing feelings of peace and joy in your life when you condition yourself to take repeated daily actions that facilitate clarity, calmness, healthfulness, and purposefulness, not the other way around. Yeah, is anyone interested? Oh, yeah, I'll just finish this thing. If you want to master your life, you have to learn to organize your feelings. By becoming aware of them, you can trace them back to the thought process that prompted them, and from there, you can decide whether or not the idea is an actual threat or concern or a fabrication of your reptilian mind just trying to keep you alive. Remember, your brain was built for nature, Your body was designed to survive in the wild. You have an animalistic form trying to navigate a highly civilized modern world. Forgive yourself for having these impulses, and at the same time, understand that your choices are ultimately yours. You can feel something and not act on it. Yeah, thank you.
May I start?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, why are we even told to listen to our instincts in the first place? Your gut is deeply connected to your mind. There is a psychological connection between your gastrointestinal system and serotonin production in your brain. Your vagus nerve runs from your gut to your head, acting as a communication device to help your system regulate. Your stomach and your mind are inherently connected, which is why people allude to just knowing something deep down or explain that when they are upset, they are sick to their stomach or had a gut reaction to something. What isn't being addressed is the fact that listening to your instinct is something that happens in the present moment. You cannot have an instinct about a future event because it does not exist yet. You can have a fear-based or memory response that you are projecting into the future, but you cannot instinctively know something about another person or a future event until it is in front of you. When you have a gut instinct about someone, it is after interacting with them. When you know whether or not a job is right for you, it is only after having done it for a while. The problem is that we are trying to use our instincts as a fortune telling mechanism. Our brain's creative way of trying to manipulate our body to help us avoid pain and increase pleasure in the future. But that's not what happens. We end up stuck because we are literally trusting every single thing that we feel instead of discerning what's an actual reaction and what's a projection. Identifying the difference between instinct and fear. First and foremost, understand that your instinct can serve you immensely in the present moment. Your first reaction to something is very often the wisest reaction because your body is using all of the subconscious information you have locked away to inform you about something before your brain has an opportunity to second guess it. You can use this to your advantage by staying in the moment and asking yourself what is true right here and right now. What is true when you are with another person, activity, or behavior? What is the deep gut instinct that you get when you are presently engaging with something? Does it differ from does it differ from what you think and feel about it when you are just imagining it, making guesses about it, recalling details of it, or imagining what it will be like? Typically, those projections of fear and your present reaction is your honest instinct. Overall, your honest gut instinct won't ever frighten you into panic. Your gut is always subtle and gentle, even if it's telling you that something is not for you. If your gut wants you to know not to see someone or to stop engaging in a relationship or behavior, the impulse will be quiet. That's why it's called the little voice within. So easy to miss, so easy to shout over. Anybody continue the reading?
Shall I take over here?
Yeah.
Yes, sir,
Thank you.
please.
Intuitive nudges versus intrusive thoughts. When you start listening to yourself, you might find it hard to tell the difference between thoughts that are helpful and intuitive and thoughts that are damaging and intrusive. They both function similarly. They are immediate, reactive, and offer some kind of previously unseen insight, and yet they function so completely differently in practice. This is how to start telling the difference between thoughts that are informed by your intuition and thoughts that are informed by fear. Intuitive thoughts are calm, intruding thoughts are hectic and fear inducing. Intuitive thoughts are rational, they make a degree of sense. Intruding thoughts are irrational and often stem from aggrandizing a situation or jumping to the worst conclusion possible. Intuitive thoughts help you in the present. They give you information that you need to make a better informed decision. Intruding thoughts are often random and have nothing to do with what is going on in the moment. Intuitive thoughts are quiet, intruding thoughts are loud, which makes one harder to hear than the other. Intuitive thoughts usually come to you once, maybe twice, and they induce a feeling of understanding. Intruding thoughts tend to be persistent and induce a feeling of panic. Intuitive thoughts often sound loving while invasive thoughts sound scared. Intuitive thoughts usually come out of nowhere. Invasive thoughts are usually triggered by external stimuli. Intuitive thoughts do not need to be grappled with. You have them and then you let them go. Invasive thoughts begin a whole spiral of ideas and fears, making it feel impossible to stop thinking about them. Even when an intuitive thought does not tell you something you like, it never makes you feel panicked. Even if you experience sadness or disappointment, you don't feel overwhelmingly anxious. Panic is the emotion you experience when you don't know what to do with a feeling. It, it is what happens when you have an invasive thought. Intuitive thoughts open your mind to other possibilities. Invasive thoughts close your heart and make you feel stuck or condemned. Intuitive thoughts come from the perspective of your best self. Invasive thoughts come from perspective of your most fearful small self. Intuitive thoughts solve problems. Invasive thoughts create them. Intuitive thoughts help you help others. Invasive thoughts tend to create a me versus them mentality. Intuitive thoughts help you understand what you are thinking and feeling. Invasive thoughts assume what other people are thinking and feeling. Intuitive thoughts are rational, invasive thoughts are irrational. Intuitive thoughts come from a deeper place within you and give you a resounding feeling deep in your gut. Invasive thoughts keep you stuck in your head and give you a panicked feeling. Intuitive thoughts show you how to respond. Invasive thoughts demand that you react. Is anyone else reading or
Who would like
anyone
to go
want?
next?
I can take up next.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. How to start truly meeting your needs? Though the term self-care has become an umbrella term that more often refers to behaviors that distract one from the actual problem at hand rather than really taking action to fix the problem at hand. Actual self-care is the most fundamental aspect of meeting your own needs. Aside from your own basic security, your needs are to be nourished, to sleep well, to live in clean environment, to dress appropriately, and to allow yourself to feel what you feel without judgment or suppression. Finding ways to meet these needs on your own is the foundation of overcoming self sabotage. You're going to feel far more willing to exercise if you got a good night's sleep. You're going to feel much better about work if you don't have to sit there with an ongoing backache and instead seek out professional who can help you with your posture or chiropractic care or massage. You're going to enjoy spending time in your home if your home is organized and meaningful to you. You're going to feel better about yourself each day if you take the time to put yourself together with care. These things are not little things. They are big things. You just can't see it because their impact is that you do them every day. Understanding your needs, meeting the ones you are responsible for, and then allowing yourself to show up so others can meet the ones you can't do on your own will help you break the self sabotage cycle and build a healthier, more balanced, and fulfilling life. Chapter 4, Building Emotional Intelligence. Self sabotage is ultimately just a product of low emotional intelligence. To move on with our lives in a healthy, productive, and stable way, we need to understand how our brains and bodies work together. We need to understand how to interpret feelings, what different emotions mean, and what to do when we are faced with big, daunting sensations that we don't know how to handle. We are going to specifically focus on aspects of emotional intelligence that relate to self sabotaging behaviors. Though there is an incredible body of work on emotional intelligence from experts around the world that is continually growing with time. So, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, interpret, and respond to your emotions in an enlightened and healthy way. People with high emotional intelligence are often able to better get along with other different types of people, feel more contentment and satisfaction in their everyday lives, and consistently take time to process and express their authentic feelings. Mostly, though, emotional intelligence is the ability to interpret the sensations that come up in your body and understand what they are trying to tell you about yourself or your life. The root of self sabotage is a lack of emotional intelligence because without the ability to understand ourselves, we inevitably become lost. These are some of the most misunderstood aspects of our brain and bodies that inevitably leave us stuck. Should I stop here if anyone wants to take up? Uh,
Okay, thanks, Saurabh. Anyone would like to take up reading?
or I can continue. It's fine.
Yeah, you continue for a page or two, then I'll take up.
Your brain is designed to resist what you really want. Something interesting happens. I think Deepa had unmuted. Maybe she wanted to read. Deepa, do you want to read?
Uh, yeah. Is it okay if I take
Yeah,
over?
please, please.
Yeah. So, is it from this new section? Your brain is designed to resist
That's correct.
what you really want.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Thanks. Something interesting happens in the human brain when we get what we want. When we imagine what goals we want to achieve, we often do so with the expectation that they will elevate our quality of life in some tangible way. And once we have arrived at that place, we will be able to coast. Coast, as in let go, relax into life, let things be for a while. That is not what happens. Neurologically, when we get something we really want, we just start to want more. Neurologically, when we get something we really want, we just start to want more. New research in the nature of the chemical dopamine, which was previously believed to be the driving force behind desire, lust, and acquisition, proves that it is more complex than previously thought. In the molecule of more, Daniel Z. Lieberman explains that experts who studied the hormone found that when an individual was introduced to something they highly desired, the dopamine surge would diminish after. Maniselvi, could you scroll up, please? Thank you. They highly desired the dopamine. It turns out is not the chemical that gives of wanting more. So the big, huge goal that you're working toward, you will get there, and then there will be another mountain to scale. This is one of the many reasons that we deeply sabotage what we truly want. We want, we know instinctively that arriving won't really give us the ability to abstain from life. It only it will only make us hungrier for more. Sometimes we don't feel up to that challenge. So while we are on the way, a toxic cocktail of neurological biases start piling up on one another, and we start to resent, judge, and even vilify the object of our greatest desire. What happens when we start to chase what we really want? We resist doing the work that it takes to actually get it because we are so afraid of not having it. Any brush with failure makes us resent our effort and tense up. When we go so long not having what we really want, we create subconscious associations between having it and being bad because get it we fear losing it so badly that we push it away from ourselves so as not to have to withstand the pain. We are so deeply enmeshed in the mental state of wanting, we cannot shift to the state of having. First, when we want something really, really badly, it is often because we have unrealistic expectations associated with it. We imagine that it will change our lives in some formidable way, and often that is not the case. When we are relying on some goal or life change to save us in some unrealistic way, any incident of failure will trigger us to stop trying. For example, if we are absolutely certain that a romantic partner will help us, um, will help us stop being depressed, we are going to be extremely sensitive to rejection because it makes us feel as though we will never get over depression. Of course, the obvious issue here is that dating is a process of trial and error. We have to fail first to succeed. Then, for all the time we spent not having the thing we want, just as a romantic relationship, our brains have to justify and validate our stance in life as a form of self protection. This is why we unconsciously vilify those who do have what we want. Instead of being inspired by their success, we doubt them. We become a skeptic about relationships. Being so jealous of others' happiness, we assume that they must be faking it, or that love isn't real, or that they will split eventually. Anyway, if we hold tightly to these beliefs for long enough, guess what will happen when we finally get that relationship we really want? Of course, we are going to doubt it and assume it will also fail. This is what's going on when people push others away or give up on their big dreams the moment something challenging comes up. When we are so scared that we are going to lose something, we tend to push it away from ourselves first as a means of self preservation. So let's say that you work through the limiting beliefs that are creating this much resistance in your life, you do eventually allow yourself to build and have the things you really, really want. Next, you'll be upon the last and most trying challenge, which is the shift from survival mode to thriving mode. If you have spent the majority of your life in a state in which you are just getting by, you are not going to know how to adapt to a life in which you are relaxing and enjoying it. You are going to resist it, feel guilty, perhaps overspend or disregard responsibilities. You are in your head balancing out the years of difficulty with years of complete relaxation. However, this is not how it works. Would someone else like to take over? Or
I
I'll
can
just,
read if no one
yeah.
is there.
Okay,
Yeah. If anyone
okay,
else
thank
wants
you.
to read, please go on. Okay, I think there's no one. Okay. When we are so deeply enmeshed in the feeling of wanting, it becomes extremely hard to adjust to the experience of having. This is because any change, no matter how positive, is uncomfortable until it is also familiar. It is difficult to acknowledge the ways in which we are so deeply inclined to self validate, so we end up standing in our own way out of pride. It is even more difficult to acknowledge that very often the things we envy in others are fragments of our deepest desires, the ones we won't allow ourselves to have. Yes, your brain is predisposed to want greater things and more of them. But by understanding its processes and tendencies, you can override the programming and start governing your own life. Your body is governed by a homeostatic impulse. Your brain is built to reinforce and regulate your life. Your subconscious mind has something called a homeostatic impulse, which regulates functions like body temperature, heartbeat, and breathing. Brain Tracy explained it like this: through your autonomic nervous system, your homeostatic impulse maintains a balance among the hundreds of chemicals in your billions of cells so that your entire physical machine functions in complete harmony most of the time. But what many people don't realize is that just as your brain is built to regulate your physical self, it tries to regulate your mental self. Your mind is constantly filtering and bringing to your attention information and stimuli that affirm your pre existing beliefs. This is known in psychology as confirmation bias, as well as presenting you with repeated thoughts and impulses that mimic and mirror what you have done in the past. Your subconscious mind is the gatekeeper of your comfort zone. It is also the realm in which you can either habituate yourself to expect and routinely seek the actions that would build and reinforce the greatest success, happiness, wholeness, or healing of your life. What this teaches us is that when we are going through a healing or changing process in our lives, we have to allow our bodies to adjust to their new sense of normalcy. This is why all change, no matter how good, will be uncomfortable until it is also familiar. This is also why we can get stuck in self destructive habits and cycles. Even though they feel good, that does not mean they are good for us. We have to use our minds to practice discernment. We have to use our supreme intelligence to decide where we want to go, who we want to be, and when we have to allow our bodies to adjust over time. We cannot live being governed by how we feel. Our emotions are temporary and not always reflective of reality. You don't change in breakthroughs, you change in micro shifts. If you're stuck in life, it's probably because you're waiting for the big bang, the breakthrough moment in which all your fears dissolve and you're overcome with clarity. The work that needs to happen happens effortlessly. Your personal transformation rips you from complacency and you wake up to an entirely new existence. That moment will never come. Breakthroughs do not happen spontaneously, they are tipping points. Revelations occur when ideas that were sitting in the margins of your mind finally get enough attention to dominate your thoughts. I'll read this again. Revelations occur when ideas that were sitting in the margins of your mind finally get enough attention to dominate your thoughts. These are the clicking moments, The moments when you finally understand advice you have heard your entire life. The moments when you have habituated yourself to a pattern of behavior for long enough that it becomes instinctive. A mind blowing singular breakthrough is not what changes your life. A micro shift is. Breakthroughs are what happens after hours, days, and years of the same mundane, monotonous work. But a mind blowing singular breakthrough is not what changes your life. A micro shift is. As a writer and media strategist, Ryan Holiday has noted, epiphanies are not life altering. It's not radical moments of action that give us long lasting, permeating change. It's the restructuring of our habits. The idea is what science philosopher Thomas Kuhn dubbed a paradigm shift. Kuhn suggested we don't change our lives in flashes of brilliance, but through a slow process in which assumptions unravel and require new explanations. It is these periods of flux that microshifts happen and breakthrough level change begins to take shape. Think of microshifts as tiny increments of change in your day-to-day life. A microshift is changing what you eat for one part of one meal just one time. Then it's doing that a second time and a third time. Before you even realize what's happening, you have adopted a pattern of behavior. What you do every single day accounts for the quality of your life and the degree of your success. It's not whether you feel like putting in the work, but whether or not you do it regardless. This is because the outcome of life are not governed by passion. They are governed by principle. You may not think what you did this morning was important, but it was. You may not think that the little things add up, but they do. Consider the age old brain teaser. Would you rather have $1 million in hand today or a penny that doubles in value every day for the next month? The $1 million right now sounds great, but after a 31-day month, that one penny would be worth over $10 million. Making big, sweeping changes is not difficult because we are flawed, incompetent beings. Sorry, I'll just read this again. I did a mistake. Making big sweeping changes is not difficult because we are flawed, incompetent beings. It's difficult because we are not meant to live outside of our comfort zones. If you want to change your life, you need to make tiny, nearly undetectable decisions every hour of every day until those choices are habituated. Then you'll just continue to do them. If you want to spend less time on your phone, deny yourself the chance to check in one time today. If you want to eat healthier, drink half a cup of water today. If you want to sleep more, go to bed 10 minutes earlier tonight than you did last night. If you want to exercise more, do it now for just 10 minutes. If you want to read one page. If you want to meditate, do so for 30 seconds. Then keep doing those things. Do them every single day. You'll get used to not checking your phone. You'll want more water and you'll drink more water. You'll run for 10 minutes and you won't feel like you have to stop. So you won't. You'll read one page, grow interested, and read another. At our most instinctive physiological level, change translates to something dangerous and potentially life threatening. No wonder why we build our own cages and stay in them, even though there's no lock on the door. Trying to shock yourself into a new life isn't going to work, and that's why it hasn't yet. You don't need to wait until you feel like changing to start changing. All you need is to make one micro shift at a time and then let the energy and momentum build. Okay. Anyone wants to read from here? Your
Thanks,
mind is
Mansi. We
anti.
will stop here today and
Okay, okay.
we will discuss on whatever we have read so far, what stood out, what you could relate, and what clarified things for the better.
Yes. So for me, the part which I read that's something that just striked a few things. So basically, that microchip thing is real. I do agree with that, and I think that is our mind always fools us with wanting to have this breakthroughs and all that. Many times it happens at times, but most of the time it's more about like this, as we have read in the other books also, Atomic Habits and Compound Effect. I just remembered of the learnings from those books. Like 1% shift can make all the difference. So that is what just highlighted for me. And also that one portion which was read earlier, which said that small things that happens, that small shifts in our day to day, which impact us on a everyday level, like having a clean environment, makes a lot of difference in your moods and everything in your day and all of that. I truly agree and believe in that, because I have been doing and experiencing that shift recently, and it really makes a lot of difference, because somewhere our subconscious mind is picking things up, and our energy is affected by many such small things. So yes, I could relate with so many, and wonderful reading today. I just loved and enjoyed it truly.
Thanks, Mansi, to start off the deliberations. Yeah, anyone else?
Yeah, I would like to add. Um, I really find this very fascinating that when we have a goal and we are about to achieve it, the writer, the section I read, was trying to say, I guess, that we resist it because somewhere we have to shift our mind from wanting to having and enjoying what we have reached that goal and enjoying that present part. Instead, we desire something more, and there is resistance in us from enjoying the present, and we are into a mode where we actually self sabotage our enjoyment, our success, and we sort of want not really enjoying what we desired, but wanting something more than that. That is making life more complex, and the instinct and our fear. Our instinct says something, and our fears are something else. And the fears are usually of failure, being unrealistic. So many times it happens. We are almost on the verge of achieving something, and due to this fear, due to this sense of unrealism, we self sabotage, and we might have actually got what we wanted, but instead of enjoying it and appreciating it, we set a new goal and we go for a different aspiration. So that is what I got, and I've seen this happening around. Many people do this. So this is very interesting thing which I read, and thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Deepa, for sharing your thoughts. Yeah, anyone else?
I would like to add, my
Please.
throat is a little bad, but yeah, that is why I chose not to read today.
Yeah, please go ahead, Tasneem.
The beautiful experience that I got while reading today's pages is, yes, it is definitely uh, about moving slowly rather than just directly looking for a breakthrough. And when you are moving slowly, you are also, we have read it in other books also, that you get time to enjoy the slow wins. So appreciating, enjoying the slow wins, and uh, congratulating yourself to be able to take that first step is what I got from this reading. And again, it boils down, once again, it boils down to staying in a gratitude mode, enjoying your wins, and progressing eventually and reaching to the goal. It was about a story also that I had read, that there was this person that, when gold was available in mountains and stuff like that, he had purchased everything. He had gone over there. He was a, I think he is now a biggest insurance agent. I don't remember his name, but yeah, he was trying to dig the gold, with a technical person also that he had, and he went on digging, and he just left it at that 1 minute before he was about to dig, and he said, okay, now I'm done and it's not going to happen. And he came back and he sold his all the equipments to somebody else, and that is where that person took those equipments, just where went from where he had left, that person had left who had sold him, and just after that, immediately, in some meters only, he found the gold. So yes, as somebody previously said, that you are almost there, but just because you give up on the last feet of your goal, you just miss it out. So yes, it was a beautiful read and able to resonate to each and everything about it. Thank you.
Can I share my understanding?
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, one is about, this is a wonderful book. So thanks for selecting this, Manish Selvi. And one is, gut without getting scared. So I have seen when we work on gut, we get success. And this feeling of losing, fear, those are not there. So this is what author is also. Then another thing which I liked, the difference between the instinct and fear. So if we work more on the instinct, uh, the chances of, you know, working more consciously, more diligently will be there. And perhaps fear will be having the least part. And then the intuitive nudges versus intrusive thoughts. This also is very wonderful explanation by the author, where the intuitive thoughts are calm and intruding thoughts are hectic, and various other aspects of intuitive thoughts are rational. So these are my understanding of today's reading on few aspects. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Anyone else would like to add? Yeah, Ramya.
Yeah. So I learned that from today's reading. So what are intrusive thoughts? It can be fear, doubt, or something negative. So we don't have to fight them. We notice that, just let them pass. Then another one important thing is gut feeling. We always trust our gut feeling. That is our inner voice that always tells that what feels right for us. So when we are peaceful, our inside, we can hear our inner voice very clearly. So these are the takeaways from today's reading. So thank you so much.
Nicely put, Ramya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Pranavi wanted to share.
Yeah, good afternoon to all. And one thing which I liked here is somewhere the author is trying to tell the nature of our brain, that is, it doesn't want to change at all. Rather, it's absolutely okay with the present situation or the present thing. So you should first I think we know the nature of the mind, but then the solution for this would be, you need to practice meditation regularly. Then when you are used to that particular frequency, your mind will calm down, and only in that particular arena your instincts would pop out, which is the authentic instinct. Otherwise we may get confused with the instincts, like whether it is coming from the brain or from the situations around. So you need to calm down to certain extent that your instincts would come out. And the author has told very clearly that this instinct will never come out of anxiety, fear, or sadness. It comes with a certain frequency, and that frequency can attain only by calming your mind on a regular basis. So there the job is done. So that is a way to connect to your instincts, and that will really show your real purpose of life, and you would be connected to that original authentic self, to the universe. So somewhere I learned from this reading. Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you, Pranavi, for giving that perspective.
Yeah.
Of how meditation will help. Yeah, Milinji.
Manaselvi, can I add? Yeah,
Yeah.
something? Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Pranav, touching the topic of meditation here, because today's in session,
Yeah.
the intuitive thoughts and intruding thoughts. I really like the way author put both these things together in nice table. We
Exactly.
can compare.
Yes.
I'm very, very grateful for God that He has given a thoughts one thought at a time, one breath at a time. Okay, and she author explained about the thoughts. So thoughts is not something which we do; those thoughts comes to us. I completely 100%, 200 or 400% agree with Pranavi that this is something we need to practice daily basis. Okay, in our calm time, in meditation time. In many for my students, I give this example. It is like when you go for hunting for the rabbits. If you clearly observe that you want to hunt the rabbits, okay, you see the rabbits only when they pass by you. Okay, what that means is when those particular thoughts pass by you, then you understand whether those thoughts are calm or they are fearful and hectic. So thoughts are not something which we do, okay, which comes to us. Thinking, that is what we do, okay, and thinking brings us suffering. Okay, why I'm saying thanks to for this particular book, because at the same time in this particular month we are reading 3 different books. This is based on same topic. One is Thinking Straight, one is this one, Mountain is You, and third one is Don't Believe What You Think. So all these things, all these 3 books are actually connected to same topic, which is of thoughts and thinking. And in today's topic, author touch the word which is confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is actually a tendency to favor information which supports your existing belief. You don't see, you just delete all other information and just you believe what you think is correct. Okay, which actually impact your decision making and hence your life. So there are around 1600 different confirmation biases. What I will do, I will share the link of those. And definitely it is very interesting to see that how we just follow our assumptions instead of going into the depth of those particular biases. Okay, so I will share those. It is this experience, all reading all these 3 books are very kind of life changing for me, and that's why I'm thanking this group, because from this group only I started reading these books, and yeah, getting all this particular summary in front of you. So yes, a wonderful session today. And yes, the bottom line for me is through the mindfulness or meditation practice, you get, expert in this particular area. And when the difficult times comes, okay, you are so prepared that you know how to respond to the situation. So for me, it's meditation, practice this learning every day. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. And definitely I will share that link on confirmation bias. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Milinji. Anyone else who would like to share their takeaways?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, Sakina.
Huh. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Take small steps every day. You become new person by doing small things again and again. Each small action makes you stronger and more confident. I always hesitate to join discussion because I find it hard to say the right words. But after reading this, I decided to say something small instead of staying silent.
Wow.
I don't need to be perfect, only consistent.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's such a great share and example, Sakina. Thank you for setting that up for us. Thank you.
Thank you. I just write it and read it. Sorry. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. Great.
It's Sakina. Anybody else? Okay. So, what today's whole reading was about, I think, is the mind-body connect. More so understanding that we are basically the only skill or the skill to master here is the emotional intelligence. How self-sabotage is a product of low emotional intelligence, and how we need to have a clear understanding or a better understanding of the mind-body connect, as well as have a deeper connect with ourselves. The invasive and the intuitive thoughts beautifully brought out the contrast and brought into perspective how we actually have to look at things. As Sakina and others have highlighted, that we have to make small decisions. Rather undetectable is the word that she used. It should be so minute and minor. It can be so minute or minor that it will definitely result in a change. So rather than looking for big steps or big changes, we can think of micro shifts. I think many books talk about it, but the flow of this book actually cuts down through our beliefs that we wrongly hold about our body, our mind, the emotions, and it is flowing nicely towards clarifying things for us and to put a better perspective. I even like the way Pranavi connected it with the meditation and how eventually what meditation helps us with. The only thing we have to be patient about, yes, what as Milinji said, the confirmation bias, we need to be aware. And also we have to just give it time. We have to understand that what get results for others may not get, similar things might not get results for us. So a bit of more self-compassion as well as a bit more observation, self-observation will help us to understand things from our perspectives even better. Because if you see, it's a complex thing. It's not just a one line thing. Okay, you become emotional intelligent from tomorrow onwards. There are so many things that are actually getting entangled here, and that's the reason it is complex for us. Maybe isolatedly, we will not be able to view ourselves in that. So we'll have to get into practices like meditation, journaling. I think Tasneem talked about gratitude. Yes, gratitude is something which we actually, it's not a normal emotion that we have. It is something which we have to develop. That's what I believe. So you'll have to build in these forts around you so that, as Milinji said, when time comes, you will be ready with at least with a backup to manage that. Yeah. So the attempt of this group is not just to share knowledge, but also help each other to implement it. So if you all face any things, any challenges, or if you also can share the things that you have implemented and helped, like how Sakina, automatically she, took a step, and that's a great thing. I think, breaking your own comfort zone. So congratulations Sakina for that, for implementing it. And I see her doing it for almost all books based on my past experience. So really good that implementation is helping. But implementation only will help when you take action. So do share if you have any issues, and do share if you have found success implementing the learnings from this book. So if anyone has anything to share, please do share, or we can call it a day.
Maniselvi, can I just add one more thing?
Please go ahead.
We all are talking about meditation, but meditation, that word has become such a hype that it is a little difficult to get there. So, as a group, part of this group, I would like to offer a small trick to get into meditation. Not only a trick, but a technique, a proven technique that can help you all start or initiate your course of meditation. I mean, the routine of your meditation. So, if you all require any help around that, I'm ready to take a small workshop with you all. And then to initiate this workshop, I'm also ready to um, take a regular meditation session, and that would be one which would be just before you go to sleep. So, like at 10 o'clock, we only meet for 10 minutes and we can get into that mode of meditation. And this is, I'm talking about an open eye meditation. It is a technique which was taught to me by my guru, and it has helped me. It helps me. And in fact, if you'll realize, you'll do open eye meditation many a times. That, and how is that? I'll just relate it to y'all. Like y'all are, if you'll remember, y'all are sometime just sitting in a gaze, and then somebody comes and snaps their fingers, and says, "Hello, how are you? Where are you? Are you here? Are you listening?" That is the kind of meditation that we are talking about, that will help you. And then eventually, yes, closing your eyes and focusing on your breath will become very easy. So yes, y'all can, Maniselvi or anybody who wants to take that initiative, wants me to help y'all, please let me know. I would be more than happy to help y'all.
Do you plan to take a one session, or you want to take a
I'll take you all every day. If you all are ready, all the 5 days of the day of the week, or 6 days or 7 days, if you all want, just at 10 minutes, like sharp 10 o'clock we meet. We get into our mode of open eye meditation. And after 10 minutes, I log off. You all log off if you all want, and you all just continue doing what you all are doing. And with that mode only. So come in your night dresses, be in your bed. Maybe you want to just lie down at that time, and just stay there. Listen to this for 10 minutes. I'll walk you through. It will be a guided one if you all want, or I'll give you different techniques that can help you all. And then we just disconnect the call after 10 minutes, and you stay in that state. And we start learning to stay in that state eventually. And I'm ready to do this every day if you all want. And if I just have one student also coming, I am absolutely fine. But if more want to join, more the merrier. I would like to take this initiative and do this. I have always done it in the past. Then I got busy, then that routine left off, and I could not catch up. But again, now that I'm here and you all spoke about meditation, I'm ready to take that initiative once again for all of you all.
Okay, we will just see whoever is interested. Maybe they can get back to you. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll form a small group, and I have the Zoom link also. We will not have to borrow it from anybody. So we'll use my link only, and I will share that with you, and we'll be on that group, and we'll learn open eye meditation, and we'll progress eventually and see how far we can go.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah,
I'm interested, but also like to learn more about this technically. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So initially, I don't want to give you all gyan. Initially, I immediately want to take you all to just understanding what is open eye meditation. Open eye meditation is, if I had to just give you all the basic over here, it's just nothing. I will ask you to, I will guide you. I will first relax your muscles, your nerves, your tissues. I'll give you that walkthrough with my guided information. And then all I will do is I will ask you to fixate your eyes on anything that is right in front of you. Just keep on staring. Nothing, nothing. No efforts. But for that, I need your body to be calm. So I will help you with every muscle, every nerve, every tissue, every cell of yours. I'll walk you through that place for 5 minutes. And for the next 5 minutes, all I will ask you to do is just stare. Just stare at what is in front of you. Maybe if you're lying down, just stare at the fan, which is turning around. Or if it's still, just look at the fan.
So I heard similar type of meditation called Trataka. I think.
Yes, my friend. I'm coming from there.
Sorry to intervene. Tasneem
Sorry.
and
Sorry.
Manjunath, maybe you can take this
Yeah.
offline.
Sure,
As
sure,
far
sure.
as
Yes.
what Tasneem has proposed, if anybody is interested, you can reach out to her.
Yeah.
Yes, DM me, and if we have 4 people, even one person, we'll form a group and we'll continue from there.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Sorry, Manish, sorry to take your time up.
No, it's just that it's going live, so we need to cut it short. Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone. So on the weekend, do reflect on the learnings from the book, and let's connect back with some stories or feedback that how you could implement it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
everyone.
Have a
Mansi.
nice
Thank
weekend.
you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.